Okay, here I am in the Republic of Ireland. Just left the city of Derry in the UK about an hour ago, and we stopped here for breakfast, and we're now headed to the first location in our journey to find the McColgan clan. Can you see it? I don't know if you can see it. The McColgan clan. And about to get in the car with my lovely wife, Heidi. Smile. And we are headed to the home of Roger McColgan, who is my great-great-great-grandfather, the great-great-grandfather of Hazel Adams, whose mother was Mary McColgan, whose parents were Charles McColgan and Annie Callahan, Annie being from the south, as in Cork. So off we go on the roads of the Republic, right along the bay on my right, Derry to the south, and we're headed north up the Inishowen Peninsula. Talk to you soon. So, as we're approaching this area and you look out at the gigantic freighter out there in the middle of the bay, it reminds me of how deep the waters were, because Derry is to our south, and our grandfather lived north of here, so he could look out into the water at any given time and see these massive steamships which carried immigrants to America. That's how deep the water is around here, and of course as you look around you can see how beautiful this is. We're about 15 kilometers south of where Grandpa lived. Okay, we're heading to the first known location of Roger McColgan. Look to the right, look over here, Heidi. You'll see his view, or something similar to his view, of the bay, with the steamships would be down there. And he lived, look up there, somewhere up there. We're on our way. We're gonna actually stop at the pub first to get a little bit more local perspective and information. And we'll let you know soon. Okay, we are almost there. We're stopping at Michael John's Pub, which is a pub really close to Grandpa's. And let me show you the outside sign. Unfortunately, it doesn't open until 8 o'clock tonight. Whoops, it's looking at me, isn't it? How do I turn this thing around? Okay, there we go. Michael John's Pub. And now I'm going to show you the view. Just in case I can't do this, we're still a little lower level, but if you look out here, what you'll see is Roger woke up every morning to this view. The lighthouse, I'm sure, was there at the time. This is the entrance to the bay, although the entrance is way out there. I'm not sure if that's Scotland up ahead. Straight directly across is Northern Ireland, which of course was just Ireland back then. And if you go way south in that direction, you're headed back towards Derry. All right, so his house was up this hill. More than likely, his farm was right up there where those sheep are. And that's the house he probably lived at. I don't know if I can go up there. This might be someone's driveway. We'll find out in a minute.
We're sending this for family.
Okay, are you recording?
Yes.
All right, well, sorry, correction, the farm that he worked at, he was a tenant here. That's Roger. It's possible that his son Charles lived up here too. I still haven't found that out. Charles, of course, is the one who came to America, Roger's son. I'm sure the sheep know the story, but we're not going to ask them. So we'll go all the way up.
They would give you bad information.
Oh, God. It's a private home now, so obviously we can't really stay here, but we'll go up as long as somebody lets us up here. Hopefully I'll be able to make a U-turn. I don't think you need to record all this. All right, here we are in the spot where the house more than likely was. I'm gonna leap across for just a second and take a look at the view. This was his view. This was where, holy crap, he would look down. You can see the cows lying in the fields out there. And you can see the ship way in the distance there. I'm not sure you can see that. And you can hear the birds in the background. And this is what Roger would look out, and he would see the steamships that went off to America from here. Wow. So as I sit here next to my beautiful wife, say hi, beautiful wife.
Hi, beautiful wife.
Parked just a little bit down the hill from where Roger and probably Charlie lived. I'm imagining 150 years ago, as this bay saw constant traffic of emigrant ships, big steamships, parked out in the harbor, in the bay, and off they went to America. And Charles, this looks beautiful here with the sheep and everything, but must have been a lot of hard work. Charles was born only 10 years after the famine. And Roger lived through it, of course. And they saw these boats taking them to a new land, to freedom and opportunity and all the other blah, blah, blah stuff you see in the Statue of Liberty. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. And that was my great-great-grandfather, Charles McColgan. Wow. So, first of all, the weather is exquisite, so realize this is not the normal weather for Ireland. We're getting really lucky. The spot I'm standing in is just maybe about 50 to 60 yards above where our great-great-grandfather was christened, and our great-great-great-grandfather and great-great-grandmother, Roger and Mary McColgan, were married. So if you look where I'm pointing, right about just past that white car is where the original church stood. You look up here, and this is, if you want to take a shot of the church itself, Heidi, this is the new church. A lot better, a lot more improved than the one in 1866 when Charles McColgan was born. And honey, don't fall down the hill. So if we look again out here at the view, about somewhere where all those houses are near the yellow, roughly is where they lived. So that was their walk to church, and when they were at church every Sunday, this is the view, minus the traffic and the gas station. This is the view that our Irish family in Donegal had on a daily basis. Heidi and I are still trying to figure out why you would ever leave, although we have a lot of mysteries, a lot of answers to that part of the mystery, because it is just so beautiful here. Let's listen to the sheep a little first. Heidi likes to say those are our great-great-great-grand sheep. So this area here is roughly where our family lived. The workhouse where Roger worked later, which was in an earlier video, if you turn it around, Heidi, was down the hill, almost like in a valley kind of thing. But the correction is Roger did not live over in Mobile. We have to correct that. So we have found definitely this area is where the family lived. We actually met with a woman this morning whose family also lived up here. She still lives up here right now. So I'm going to be quiet and let you listen to our grand sheep for just a minute. Come on, let's hear some grand sheep. There we go. They must be around the corner. And you could even see there's some ancient Irish sheep shit right there. And here's some, you see the wool right there? I think there's a sheep right around the corner from you. It sounds like it's behind. Should I pick up that wool or no, honey? Okay, here we are in our next spot where in 1901, I'd have to double check. It's either 1901 or 1927. I'm pretty sure 1901. This is where Roger worked. That, hold on, that stone over there, which I took a picture of, commemorates the workhouse that he worked in. And again, the view. The tree's in the way, so you can't see where the church is, but it's up that way. Now, the other thing that is really eerie, Heidi and I aren't 100% sure, but we think that right here is a mass grave from the hunger. You'll notice that the plaque says in memory of those who died of hunger. It says the same thing in Gaelic with a single cross inside. And I don't want to go in respect of the dead, but we're pretty sure that this is a mass grave. Fortunately, our family, of course, lived through the hunger. Roger must have been about 8 years old when the potato famine first struck. Say hi to Heidi. Here we are, leaving the peninsula of Inishowen, the town of Cardona. Charles did this very same thing, living on a small boat, going out into this bay to join a waiting passenger liner, the SS Phoenician, out in this harbor. I'm here now with my beautiful wife, Heidi. Say hi, Heidi. As we go. Imagine what it was like for him, getting on a small boat, all by himself, never going to see his family again as he said goodbye. So here we are, Mobile Bay, out in the middle. Back in 1888. There would be a passenger liner, the SS Phoenician, parked out here because obviously it didn't come to the dock, but it parked out here. And Charles would be leaving from this beautiful area. If you can get all of it, honey. His home actually turned right behind you. His home looking somewhat like that behind you. And he would, all by himself as a teenager, leaving his family forever and heading off to America, where he would someday meet Annie Callahan.